Our country's frustrated at them that they're not doing their share in the military spending, and they tell us, well, you seem to be enjoying it. And they invest that money in their infrastructure. I mean, little Norway is drilling the longest tunnels in the world to lace together isolated communities in the fjords. Denmark and Sweden have built this mammoth bridge lacing together Copenhagen and Malmo. You got the bullet train of the English Channel Tunnel taking you from Big Ben to the Eiffel Tower in 2.5 hours. That's just the tip of the exciting infrastructure iceberg. All over Europe, they're investing in their infrastructure like I can't imagine. Here's the new train station, the biggest train station in Europe in Berlin. Major train lines coming in at right angles, 6 different levels. I mean, it's breathtaking to see that. I was just in the train station in Munich, photographing trains coming into the station, actually photographing the birds squished onto the windshields of the trains as they came into the station. Those trains are fast. When I looked at that, I thought you'd wait all your life to see a bird squished onto a windshield here in Seattle. But Europe likes the concept of fast trains. Well, another aspect of the European Union is peace. In fact, Europe has managed to create this exciting free trade zone. They've created a cumbersome, almost laughable bureaucracy. But bottom line, everybody seems to be thankful for the European Union because they have done what they set out to do. They've overcome the risk that France and Germany will lead that continent to another devastating war, as it's done twice in the last century. Bottom line, the European Union now is so interwoven that you won't see another world war. That's exciting. Yeah. That is really exciting, and that's the triumph of the world, of the European Union. Now, today, we are a nation at war, and I am really haunted by the thought that I don't think America knows what the reality of a war is. Of course, if you've got a loved one or if you've lost a loved one in Iraq or Afghanistan or Vietnam, you know what a war is. But I don't know what a war is. I think our society in general doesn't know what a war is. Europe knows what a war is. Europe has ripped itself to shreds twice in the last century. Think about France in World War I. France, with 1/4 of our population, lost as many people as we lost in the entire Vietnam War, 60,000 people, in one day. And then it happened again next Tuesday and twice again the next week, until by the end of World War I, half of all the men in France between the age of 15 and 30 were casualties. That's a war. And when Americans call French surrender monkeys, I want to interrupt, and I want to explain to them, you don't know what a war is. They do. They're not quite as quick to go to war as we are inclined to be. Later on, Europe had the technology to do aerial bombardments. It was so appalling, Picasso had to stop and do this great mural of Guernica, the first city that was the victim of an aerial bombardment. And if there is a national piece of art in Europe today for the European Union, it is this, because it reminds Europe what is the reality of a war. In 1947, in the rubble of a bombed-out Europe, Euro visionaries got together, and I can't imagine this. They must have got together, smart people with a vision who really cared, and they said, we've got to overcome this hell that we bring upon ourselves every couple of generations with these wars. We need to unite. We got to talk people into trading away sovereignty, and it's a tough sell if you're into a nation, to trade away real sovereignty to be a union. A union's nothing without people giving up real sovereignty. In a fitful evolution, it's very cumbersome and awkward. It's 2 steps forward and 1 step back. They have over 60 years created a union today. And it's something that is quite an exciting accomplishment, and the good news is that they will never again go to war as they have in the past.